This is a review for the Simmons 997 blocker. I got this set with the matching catching glove a few weeks ago. Haven't used the glove enough to form an opinion on it yet, and I haven't faced hard enough shots, so I can't give a fair review on that. But for the blocker, I'm pretty comfortable in what I think about it, and I'll compare it against the other blockers I currently have, just to show how it stands up to the big brands. One thing I do like about the Simmons is it has Gen Pro binding guards right here. So where you hold your stick and where it rubs against the blocker, it won't wear down the nylon and rip it open. That happened on my Larceny. You can see right in there, it ripped the nylon open. And it happened on my old Simmons 993 blocker. So that's a good feature. I'm kind of surprised that the nylon's already wearing, the Gen Pro's already wearing out a bit. It's only been used for about 3 months before I had it, so it seems pretty quick. That's its job. It's supposed to wear out and protect the nylon, so it's no big issue. The Vaughn has it on the inside piece right here, but it doesn't have it on the outer piece. As you can see, I haven't used the Vaughn yet, so I can't really comment if this actually would get hit with a stick, but that will be for the Vaughn review itself. And now what I don't like about this glove, on the inside here, there's this cuff piece, and then there's no thick protection anywhere here. It's not needed, you can't feel shots through it, but I like having that there, which both of these two gloves here have, because it keeps your wrist snug in the blocker and it doesn't feel like it's flopping around. I even tightened this wrist strap pretty tight to hold my wrist in place because it felt like it was gonna almost fall off. And when you put it on, that's pretty tight in there, but it just wobbles a lot. And like every time I move my stick, I could feel the blocker just like moving a little bit, and I didn't like that. I couldn't get it tight around my wrist like I could the other ones. And like, as you can see, there's nothing really in there. Well, the Reebok has this nice big piece of material in here, and the Vaughn as well has this nice piece right here, which really holds your hand in place, and it doesn't feel like it jiggles as much. It feels like my hand's stronger, and when I'm just moving like this, it feels like I have more control of the blocker than I do with the Simmons. It does have side pillow protection here. It is a smaller pillow piece than both the Vaughn and the Larceny, but seems to do its job. I did get hit a couple times here and couldn't feel anything, no issues. The thumb is pretty thin. It's not really for protection, right? But all the other gloves I have, the thumb's much thicker and just feels nicer and higher quality. Same with the back padding here. This is very, very loose, while the Vaughn is pretty tight compared to the Simmons. As you can see, it just free flows like that, and the Vaughn is basically stuck in there, and the Larceny same way. Just like I said before, it just feels tighter and closer fitting. The glove does have side pillow protection right here for your inside cuff. The Vaughn and the Larceny both have bigger pillows in there, and it feels like more padding, but I haven't had a problem with the Simmons. I took some decent shots, not super hard, but ones that you could tell, and couldn't feel anything. Could feel, but didn't hurt, so no problems there. If you do notice, the thumb is very loose from the glove, and it's really, really thin, almost sheet feeling thumb material. I know it's not for protection, but it just feels of lesser quality than these other two gloves. As you can see, the Vaughn is much tighter, and it's just a thicker thumb. And same with the Reebok, just tighter piece, thicker thumb. And again, just to show, it's super loose out there. Doesn't really stay close to the protection at all. It's all free floating. Just another thing that makes the Vaughn, the Reebok gloves feel tighter on the hand and just of higher quality than the Simmons. Now, Simmons on their website always says they compare to the top brand pro equipment of other manufacturers for the same price. For this blocker, I feel that's not the case. As you can see, it's kind of based off this Vaughn V4. Well, it's the same design since the V3, I believe. And the superiority of the Vaughn is pretty substantial compared to the Simmons. Everything on the inside, the material is just of higher quality. I showed you how it was like tighter on the cuff because of the extra padding there. The palm feels way better on the Vaughn, just everything's thicker and it feels better constructed. Another thing that kind of blew my mind for the Simmons is they put their equipment as pro quality equipment, but they're missing finger protection on it compared to every other pro blocker I've seen. And this is the reason why I didn't like my 993, because I fell on my stick and my stick got pinched because there's nothing here. I just fell on the ice and went right down and pinched my fingers against the stick, like when on a diving save, because there's no padding there. The Vaughn has this hard piece of foam right here, and the Reebok also has hard piece of foam. And another part for the lack of protection for the Simmons, this is very flimsy to the point where I can move it pretty good. You can feel foams in there, but they're really soft all along this finger protection. There's nothing right there, and this side piece might as well not be there. Which again, this is a pro level glove, and look at the Vaughns. You can't bend this. It's solid, and these are solid pieces attached to it. So if anything hits that, it's not going to hurt. Here, it's like there's no padding there at all. And the Larceny probably has the best one of all of them, and it's a big piece, all solid, one constructed, and you can't bend that at all either. And the Simmons is a pro glove according to them, and as you can see, they cut corners to bring, I guess, the retail cost down. And the Vaughn and the Larceny are much better, to the point where I wouldn't wear this glove. I don't think it's a pro level glove. I have been hit here before wearing Simmons gloves on the 993, and I looked at how the construction is, and it's the same. And that was one of the reasons why I went to a new glove, is because I got hit hugging a post from the side like this. A puck came in, hit me right here, and that hurt pretty bad, because this is just a piece of foam, very soft foam, while the Larceny has actual hard foams like right in there, and then this just a flappy softer piece, but still thicker than the Simmons. And right there I've been hit with pucks and sticks with the Larceny, no problems whatsoever. And the Vaughn, hard foams as well. And the Simmons, the softest of the three. And again, right here, you get stick jabs from around the post. When you're hugging the post, get it right here, there's nothing there really, it's just a little piece of material. But the Vaughn, put your hand in there and you got a solid piece right there. Sticks aren't going to do anything there. They have done stuff to my hands before with wearing Simmons, which again is the reason why I moved away from my 993, and I'm kind of upset that they didn't update it for the 997 or later. And just as you can see, there's your fingers curling right there. You can see them, you can see your whole palm curling. And here's the Vaughn fingers curling. You can't see anything, you're completely protected. So that's a big, like these, it's kind of a copy, but it's really not. And there's more to this that I found as well. The other area where there's lack of protection is this finger protection with your glove. I already showed right here that there's basically nothing, really soft foam. And then there's this weird, pretty solid piece, which I'll give it, it is solid, which is good, but it doesn't really cover anything. And this happened to me the first time I used it. I tested this with a puck on ice, and you close your stick, and this should be down here, but it just stays up there. There's no point for this, and I looked inside to see if it's been modified. It hasn't, just how it is, but it doesn't do anything. I could slide a puck in there, and I tried it in warm-ups. I used my hand, just put it in with a stick, and I jabbed it into my fingers, and my fingers could feel the puck hitting it right there. And I've made saves like that with the Larceny before, and I couldn't feel anything on my fingers. Here, I would feel it. The reason being, the Larceny would stop it before it would actually hit your fingers. Now if we look at the Vaughn has much harder finger protection here, In fact, this is double layered on the inside right here compared to the outside, and this flap keeps everything nice and close. Look at the gap difference. There's no way a puck is hitting your actual fingers in here. Compared to the Simmons, close that, and fingers. Look, Vaughn, closed. Nothing, can't see your fingers at all, can't hit them. And I'll show Simmons again. Simmons, close, fingers. And just for sake of showing them all, Larceny, closed. Can't get fingers, but you can get in there. And this piece right here is also very solid. And with a stick, puck never actually got in there, just get jabbed in from this piece right here. So the Vaughn's the best. This one I have no problems with. It took slap shots to the fingers and didn't feel anything because of this piece right here and how solid it is. The Simmons is soft foams right here, and this just stays out of the way and to expose your bare fingers. So again, Simmons advertised this as pro quality. I would disagree. Now, I know I sound like a Simmons basher here. I have no problems with the catching glove so far. I can catch with it better than I can with the Larceny. It feels awkward in my hand, but the quality is okay. It's there. I'll have to wait until I face one of the guys with the really hard shots to actually be able to review it, but so far it's pretty good. That said, I'm being honest here, I would not recommend this glove to anyone. Maybe if you're still growing up and in your teenagers, like early teens playing, because this might not be as big as an issue, but I don't see why you would buy this glove over one of the competitors. Now, Simmons has a lower price point. If you buy this new, it's about $230, $250 I think, I'm not positive. I bought this brand new for $100. I bought this brand new for $120. So, and the Simmons will say this is made in China, garbage. It's held up fine. The only wear on it is that nylon on the inside, which the Simmons 993 blocker did to me. And this is an older model than this one, so I believe Reebok has the Gen Pro up inside where it wore out. I'm not positive, but I think that's a new feature. So again, I don't understand why anyone would buy this blocker. It's not, in my opinion, it's not a pro level blocker. The padding isn't, the protection isn't there, and like open finger palms on a glove that stock costs $40. I shouldn't say price, like $40 less than one of these, and I paid less for this Vaughn one and this Reebok one than I did for this Simmons one, or what you'd pay new for Simmons one. And again, I don't hate Simmons. I have their sticks, I love them. They're my favorite sticks I've ever used for performance-wise. They're fantastic. And if you read my other review, that's how it is. I actually got the pads of these too, and I haven't been able to use them yet, and I don't mind them. And I'm pretty sure once I do get to use them, they won't get a review as bad as this. But there's no way I could ever recommend this blocker to anyone to use. There's way better alternatives out there for the price and just for protection wise. Like, I don't trust my hands with this. I've fallen on sticks before, I've bruised fingers, I've got hit with pucks and sticks over here, and this doesn't have the protection that these gloves have, and it's labeled as a pro level glove. So buyer beware. I would not recommend this whatsoever.